How does a man rise from the Golden Towers of Manhattan to the Oval Office, shaking American politics to its core? Donald Trump's journey is far from ordinary. Born into wealth and privilege, he crafted a brand, became a celebrity, and eventually emerged as one of the most divisive figures in history. This is more than a success story. It's a saga of ambition, resilience, and controversy. From being shaped by a tough father to challenging the very fabric of American politics, Trump's life mirrors the polarized nation he ultimately led. This is the story of how Donald became Trump and how Trump reshaped the United States. Two, childhood and early lessons. Donald John Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, New York, into both privilege and high expectations. His father, Fred Trump, a successful real estate developer, was a stern businessman who believed in toughness, drilling into Donald a ruthless mindset. Don't be weak, be a killer. From an early age, Donald was highly competitive. Known for bullying classmates and even his siblings, one notable incident saw him throwing an eraser at his teacher, prompting Fred to send him to the New York Military Academy. There, Donald thrived in the disciplined, competitive atmosphere, excelling in sports and earning the nickname Ladies' Man in his yearbook, a nod to his early charisma. But the lessons weren't only about discipline. Fred Trump's relentless work ethic taught Donald the importance of perseverance, setting the stage for both his achievements and the controversies that would later follow. 3. Rise in real estate, from son to showman. Donald Trump entered real estate in 1968, joining his father's business, E. Trump & Son. Early on, he worked to revive struggling projects, but his ambitions stretched far beyond his father's work. Rebranding the company to the Trump Organization, he aimed to dominate Manhattan. His first major success was transforming the Commodore Hotel into the Grand Hyatt, followed by his flagship project, Trump Tower, a 58-story symbol of luxury and power. But his rise wasn't smooth. In the 1970s, the Trump Organization faced a racial discrimination lawsuit from the Department of Justice, and Trump countersued for $100 million. Though unsuccessful, it highlighted his defiance and refusal to back down. 4. Fame, fortune, and scandals. The 1980s were a transformative decade for Donald Trump. As a symbol of the era's greed is good mentality, he became a media sensation, constantly in the headlines and on talk shows. Trump wasn't just a businessman, he was a showman who mastered the spotlight. His empire expanded with ventures like Atlantic City casinos, Trump Shuttle, and even a football team. His marriage to Ivana Trump, a glamorous model, solidified his image as the embodiment of 1980s wealth and success. Together, they were one of America's most famous power couples. However, fame brought its share of controversy. Trump faced accusations of unethical business practices, from underpaying contractors to exploiting tax loopholes. But Trump relished the media attention, famously saying, "All publicity is good publicity." 5. Fall from grace, bankruptcy, and crisis. The 1990s marked the beginning of Trump's downfall. His extravagant lifestyle and aggressive growth were fueled by debt. When the U.S. economy entered a recession, his businesses, reliant on consumer spending, began losing money. At one point, Trump was over $3 billion in debt. He was forced to sell valuable assets, including his yacht and airline, and declared bankruptcy for several casinos. The media turned against him, portraying him as a man who had overextended himself. 6. The Apprentice Era, building the Trump brand. By the late 1990s, Trump's financial empire had diminished. However, his next chapter wasn't about skyscrapers or casinos. It was about building his personal brand. This shift began with The Apprentice, a reality TV show launched in 2004 that would redefine his public image. 7. The political pivot. Donald Trump had shown interest in politics for years. In the late 1990s, he briefly joined the Reform Party and considered running for president. Though he backed out, his political ambitions were starting to take root.
In 2011, he made headlines by questioning President Barack Obama's birthplace, a move that polarized the public but resonated with certain segments of voters. Trump's transition from businessman to political figure was strategic. He understood the power of media and crafted a persona that appealed to those who felt left behind by the political establishment. His speeches, often unscripted and provocative, tapped into the frustrations of millions of Americans. 8th, 2016. Election. The outsider rises. On June 16, 2015, Donald Trump descended the golden escalator of Trump Tower and announced his candidacy for president. His speech was unconventional, filled with blunt criticisms of immigration, trade, and America's political elite. While many dismissed his campaign as a publicity stunt, 9th, legacy and impact. Donald Trump's presidency was as polarizing as his campaign. His policies, such as tax reforms and immigration restrictions, were hailed by supporters but criticized by opponents. Trump's use of social media, particularly Twitter, bypassed traditional channels of communication and directly engaged with his base.
The man behind the curtain. Donald Trump is more than a businessman, celebrity, or politician. He is a phenomenon. His life story reflects a relentless pursuit of success, fueled by a desire to prove his critics wrong. But it's also a cautionary tale about ambition, controversy, and the cost of success. As Trump himself once said, "I don't like to analyze myself because I might not like what I see." This is the story of Donald Trump, a man who changed America and left a legacy that will be debated for generations.